Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the 1977 National League playthrough in Inside Pitch, where we pick one game from the calendar day and play it out and let the Strat computer sim everything else. We are now at April the 19th. The selected game of the day is the Philadelphia Phillies at the Chicago Cubs. And on the mound for the Cubs will be Mike Krukow, and on the mound for the Phillies will be Larry Christenson. It's kind of early for standings, but if you want to know, Chicago in the replay is 5-4, and Philadelphia is 4-4. If there is a tie on the Stratomatic computer, the tiebreaker will be the records of the teams in Inside Pitch. I'm keeping separate standings on those, so we know how they're doing on the board, so to speak, to use a phrase that RJL uses, on the board. Hello, Ben. Good to see you. So that's the prelims for that. You see the starting lineups for both teams. A little bit different for the Phillies. They have Dane Orge at first base, Johnstone in right. So I think first base was kind of a revolving door for the Phillies in 77. Eventually, Richie Hebner took over for that, but I believe he must be injured or something right now, because in 77 he was the main first baseman, but that must have been down the road. For the Cubs, pretty much standard lineup with a righty on the mound. They got Greg Gross in left field instead of Cardinal or Kleins. But other than that, nothing out of the ordinary. Mike Krukow finishing up the warm-up tosses. Krukow. That's okay, Ben. Yeah, I did one at lunchtime because Uncle Ron did not stream at lunch, and I figured I'd play a Stratomatic game. Pretty interesting game, actually. Last game of the April 8th block between Toronto and Texas. So if you haven't watched that, I won't spoil anything. Krukow is 1-0 in his start, and Christenson is 0-1, but again, it's very, very early. And both of those, I think, were probably on the Stratomatic computer sim, so don't know, how they'll do on the board. Again, that will be the tiebreaker. All right, so we're ready to go. Gary Maddox will lead things off for the Phillies. And we're underway. 2-3. Strikeout chance 15 is too high. Go to Maddox. 6-3, and that's going to be a star 3, which is a ground ball to second. And there's one away. Maddox is retired. Here's Larry Boa. 2-4. It's a home run question mark. Switch hitter batting left is a 1-16. That passes. Boa's home run, though, against righty is a 1. And it's a 2. He just missed getting that home run, but he will get the swing. 4-4. He's going to fly it to right field, where it is hauled in out there by Bobby Mercer. So 2 down, and now Mike Schmidt, the batter. 1-3 is a blank. We go to Schmidt. 5-3, and that's a power result to center field. Against a right-hander, though, it only goes 1-2. That's an 11. That would have been a triple against lefties, but against righties, it is simply a fly to center. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Phillies. So Krukow gets through unscathed. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Philadelphia 0, and the Cubs coming to bat. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. Larry Christenson finishing up the warm-up tosses. He'll be facing Ivan DeJesus for the Cubbies. 3-6. That's a strikeout chance. 8 gets him. So DeJesus out on strikes. And that'll bring up Manny Kingston trio. 6-3, and that's a range play on Trio's card. So 1-3, ground ball to third. We're checking Schmidt. Schmidt's range is a 5, best you can have. 1-5, he'll get to it. And he does. Easy play for Schmidt. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Larry Bittner. That's double I, double T, Bittner, if you're spelling at home. 1-1, he's a blank. He's not tired. 1-5, it's a power result to right field. Against a righty, it only goes to 9. That's a 14, and that would have been out of range on both sides of the house. Just a deep fly to right, and that's going to end the inning, as that's hauled in by Johnstone. And at the end of 1, we got no score from Wrigley Field. Krukow back out. We'll be facing Luzinski, Johnstone, and Orge. I believe Orge is in his Cardinal garb. Luzinski, 4-4. That's a strikeout chance. 15. He gets him. Stadium doesn't change it. 15 is good. It's a strikeout for Krukow. That'll bring up Jay Johnstone, the prankster. 3-6, that's a blank. We go to Johnstone. 1-6, that's a fly to left, 2 down. And here's Dane Orge in his Cardinal garb. He is part of the, I believe he's part of the trade that the Phillies make with Bake McBride, to acquire Bake McBride, I should say. 5-1 is a strikeout chance, 14 too much. Orge, 3-3 is a fly to center. And Morales will take care of it, and that's going to do it for the Phillies. Go to the bottom of the second, no score. Maybe the wind is blowing in at Wrigley. You never know. Comes a pitcher's park when that happens. Of course, inside pitch does not have a weather effect in the version 3. I don't know if they're doing version 4 or not, but that they're working on. But I know version 3 does not have a weather impact. Hello, Tony. 5-1 is a blank. Mercer, 2-1. That's a fly to center. Maddox has it. 1 away for Jerry Morales, center fielder. 5-1 is another blank. Same result. Hit that same spot twice. Morales, 6-2 is a ground ball to short. And that's handled by Boa. 2 down for Steve Ontiveros, switch hitting third baseman. That's a 2-1. That's a strikeout chance. He strikes out at a 10, but that's a 16, so no strikeout. And Ontiveros will get to swing it. 1-4. It's a single to right field. First hit of the game for either side is Steve Ontiveros. His attempt is a 1. Don't know if he can get a lead with that. No, he cannot. He will hold. And here's Greg Gross. 2-1. That's a strikeout. 6. Too high. He's only striking out at a 5. So we go to Gross. 2-2. That's a single past third. So back-to-back base hits. Ontiveros has to stop at second. He does not have the speed to go to third. So 2 down, and 2 quick singles have given the Cubs a chance. It's Steve Swisher, the catcher. 4-2, that's a strikeout chance. 3 is going to get him, and that's going to end the inning. So the Cubs muster a couple of hits, but make nothing of it. We go to the third. Still no score from Wrigley. Ted Sizemore will lead it off for the Phils. It'll be Sizemore, Boone, and Christenson. And you could argue Christenson is the best hitter of all 3. 6-4, at least as far as power goes. 6-4 is a blank. Go to Sizemore. 1-3 is a star 4, which is a ground ball to Ontiveros. And there's 1 away. Here's Bob Boone. 4-6, that's a walk plus, so he will draw the free pass. First base runner by the Phillies. Attempt is a 4. That's a 2. He could go if he wants. He's a 10. Plus 2 is a 12. Catcher Swisher's a 0. Be a 1-12. He did steal 5 bases on the season. They're going to send him 1-12. And he got caught stealing. Well, he tried to get greedy. Didn't want to waste an out on a bunt, and he tried to steal and just didn't work for him. So now Christenson comes up with 2 outs and the base is clear. 4-5, and that is a strikeout chance. 5's going to get him, and that ends the inning. So the caught stealing really took the starch out of that one. Maybe too aggressive, but sometimes I usually like to be aggressive when I'm playing these games. Hopefully not reckless, but just aggressive. It was a good gamble. 60% chance of being safe. I just found one of the 40% rolls. That's all. All right, here's Krukow. 6-6 is a possible error on a ground ball. 6-4, that's a single to short, so it's not going to be an error check. It's going to be a speed check on Krukow. His BR is a 2. A 1-2, he beats us out. Anything else, he's thrown out. And Krukow is retired 6-3 on the ground out. 1 down for Ivan De Jesus. 5-6 strikeout chance. 9 got him again. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 3rd strikeout for Christenson. And that brings up Manny Trio. 2-1 strikeout again, but Trio does not strike out. 4-5, and that's going to be a split chance, but against a righty, it's a ground ball to first base. And Orge will take care of it. So 3 innings in the books here at Wrigley, and we got nothing going on. It's zip to zip. Wind blowing in from left field is kind of putting a kibosh on some of these long fly balls. So we're back to the top of the order. Start the top of the 4th, and Gary Maddox is your batter. Krukow, 6-5 is a hit by pitch chance. He's a 5, -1's a 4. That is a 4, so he will plunk Maddox. Maddox reaches on the hit by pitch. His attempt is a 6. He does not get the lead. He will hold. Boa's a 5 bunter. Wow, I think you have to bunt with Boa here. So let's roll for a strikeout possibility for Krukow. 3-5, and that is a pitcher result. Switch hitter bang left. It's a 1. So I'm wondering, let me check the bunt chart. I'm not sure if that overrides that or whether it goes to the bunt. I believe the only thing that affects the bunts are like strikeouts and stuff. So I believe we ignore this and go straight to the bunt. Pretty sure that's the case. So we will go to the bunt. Boa is a 4. He's a 5 bunter, becomes a 4 with the corners in. So we're going to see who fields this thing. It's going to be the first baseman. So first baseman Bittner will field this thing. As a 4 bunter, he needs a 1-14 to get a good bunt. 17, not a good bunt. 17 right here says lead runner under a 4. Lead runner is thrown out, so it will not be a good bunt. Boa is going to end up being a fielder's choice. It's going to go 3-6 on the fielder's choice as he could not get the bunt down. So that'll bring up Schmidt. We know Schmidt's not bunting. Krukow, 4-3. That's a potential wild pitch. That's a 12. It's a potential pass ball on the catcher, Swisher. His pass ball rating is a 4. So 1-4, he blocks this. 5 or higher, it's a pass ball. He blocks it, so there is no pass ball to worry about. So we move on to Schmidt. 6-6, it's a ground ball to first, possible double play. He's a 3. -1 there is a 2. There is nothing for going to first, so it stays a 2. Pivoted short to Jesus is a -2, so there's really no chance of a double play. We'll see what the actual roll is. It's a 2, and Boa is going to beat this out. The only play is going to be to first base. Boa's speed of BR4 is greater than the 2, so he will take the base there. And the only play that Bittner had was to go to first unassisted. But Boa got such a big jump, he had no chance. So 2 down for Luzinski. Clutch situation with Boa at second base. Luzinski struck out his first chance. 4-4. He might do it again. Strikeout 8. He sure did. He liked it once. He did it twice. He's once, twice, 3 times a strikeout. That's for later in the game when he strikes out a 3rd time, which you know will happen. Guaranteed. All right. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score. And Larry Bittner steps to the plate. 2-2, and that's a range play at Wrigley Field. Going to Wrigley Field for the range play. 5-2. It's a single plus to right field. So we're looking at Johnstone. He's a 4. He can take this hit away with a 1-4. And he does. So it won't be a single with a chance for a double. It's simply a fly to right as Johnstone got over it quickly. Makes the play. Here's Mercer. 4-6. That's a blank on Christenson. Go to Mercer. 2-5 for Mercer. And that's going to be a single to left field for Bobby Mercer. 1 out single. Mercer's attempt is a 3. He cannot get the lead. He will hold for Morales. Jerry Morales. 5-3 is another blank. We go to Morales. 4-3. It's a double to left field for Morales. Let's see if that scores the run. We know Luzinski is wonderful at defense. He's a +1. Mercer's a 2. +1 from Luzinski makes him a 3. To score on a double to left from first base, you lose 1. Drops it down to a 2. So 1-2 he scores. He does because of Luzinski's +1 arm that allows him to score. And the Cubs break through. They break on through to the other side and they get a run. And the Cubs lead it 1-0. Double from Jerry Morales. Brings up Ontiveros. 2-3, and that's a range play. So we're going to Ontiveros for a range play. 5-5, that's a star 6, which is a fly to center. That's Maddox. He's a 5. 2/3 of the earth are covered by water. The other third by Gary Maddox. And you knew he was going to make that play. 2 down. Can Morales move up? Maddox, no, he cannot because Maddox is a -1 arm. He's only a 2. That leaves a 1, but you lose 2 trying to get from center, second to third on a fly to center. So he has to hold. No opportunity there whatsoever. And that brings up Greg Gross. Christenson, 3-4. That's the ballpark card. Going to Wrigley Field for Greg Gross's at bat. 3-2. That's a single to center field for Gross. But again, it went to Maddox. So Morales is a 2. With 2 outs becomes a 3. -1 for Maddox drops him to a 2. Single to center, score from second. You gain 2 more, makes him a 4. So 1-4, and he will score. He does. So RBI single off the bat of Gross, and the Cubbies now lead it 2-0. As they're getting to Christensen second time around. Here is Swisher, struck out his first chance. 5-5, he might do it again. 9, he certainly did. So 4 strikeouts for Christensen. He's got DeJesus twice and Swisher twice. But in between that, 2 runs come in for the Cubbies, and they take a 2-0 lead over the Phillies as we go to the 5th. Jay Johnstone. And this is one of the inexcusable cards for inside pitch. To have 363 at-bats and have a cookie cutter card is inexcusable to me. There should be some provision. I don't know if you deduct his home run. Do something to the card to make it where lefties give him a little more trouble. But to have a cookie cutter with 363 at-bats to me is, well, I won't say what it is. It's not my favorite. Let's just put it that way. Some people doesn't bother, but kind of gets my goat a little bit. Here's Krukow. 1, strikeout 18, too high. Go to Johnstone. 4-5, and that's a ground ball to first. The worst example was, I believe, was one of the Jim Spencer cards. It might have been 77, or was it? I think it was 77. I could be wrong about the year. Might have been 72, maybe. I don't know. 450 something at bats, and he's a cookie cutter card. That really got me. All right, here's Dane Orge in his Cardinal garb. 1-2, that's a blank. We go to Orge. 1-1, ground ball to third. Ontiveros is there. 1 away, or 2 away, actually. And here's Sizemore. Krukow to Sizemore. 5-4 is a strikeout chance. 16, too much. We go to Sizemore. 6-1 ground ball right back to Krukow, and that's going to be a very easy 5th inning for Krukow and the Cubbies. Yep, 31 against lefties. That tells you that the manager thought he couldn't hit lefties, so to me there should be some provision there. 31 at bats is enough for me to rate him. I don't know why they upped the at bats to like 60 or something. I don't know what they were doing there, but anywho, I think there ought to be something. And if you don't want to, put 15 slash marks on his grid, at least do something with the numbers at the bottom. But there ought to be some kind of provision for that. And I think it is in version 4, but I don't know. I think they're working on something like that. Definitely when you hit 100 points difference, you ought to be able to reflect that in the game. And right now the game does not reflect that. Still a great game. It's a couple of little things that keep it from being a really great game. Here's Krukow, 4-1, ground ball to short. 1 away, and here is Ivan De Jesus. This is still my second favorite game, but if they can fix those things, I might even challenge Stratomatic. 3-3, and that's a straight-up home run chance off of Krukow. He's a 2, though, and that's a 4, so there is no home run. So to Jesus. You are correct, Ben. That's why every game has their flaws, and we just pick the flaws that we can deal with the best. 6-5, and it's a fly to center, and the ones that are most fun. Now, this is probably the most, I would say out of all the games I own, this is the most fun. I think Stratomatic is the most realistic and most accurate. I think this one's the most fun. So it just depends on, what cup of tea you like. That is true, D. Smith. That's the way it is in payoff pitch. The batter splits can affect the pitcher splits, even though the pitchers are not split. Christenson to Trio. 4-4 is a walk plus, and he will draw the base on balls. And for Christenson, that's his first walk. 2-out walk to Trio. Attempt is only a 1, so nothing going to happen there. Here's Bittner. Christenson, 2-2. Range play at Wrigley Field for Bittner. That's a 6-1. It's a single to center field, but it is, to left field, but it is a range play. And you got Wheels Luzinski as a 1. Wheels Luzinski is a 1, and he can't get it, so it will drop for us, base hit. Now the question is, can the runner get the third? Trio's a 3. With 2 outs, it becomes a 4. Luzinski's a +1, makes him a 5, but you lose 2 going from first to third on a single to left, which drops it back to a 3. 1-3, he makes it. He has to hold. So Trio will hold at second base. 2 singles after 2 were out. And now Bobby Mercer steps to the plate against Christenson. Nothing on strategy. Christenson, 6-6 is a possible error on a ground ball. We'll go to Mercer. 4-1, that's a single to right field. That's a 6. There will be no error on that. Johnstone is a 0 on his error rating. So it's a single to right, but Johnstone has a -2 arm. So this ought to be interesting. Trio's a 3. To score from second on a single to right, you add 1. Makes him a 4. With 2 outs, it makes him a 5, but the -2 from Johnstone drops it to a 3. 1-3 he scores. He does. So it's going to be an RBI single from Bobby Mercer, despite the good throw by Johnstone. Cubs lead it now by the score, and Bittner will take, since that was a 2, Bittner will now take third on that play as well. So runners are at the corners, 2 down, 1 in. Mercer's attempt is a 3. Cannot get the lead. I'll bring over to Morales. He had an RBI double his last time up. 1-1, he's not tired, so it's blank. Morales, 5-3, he's going to line it right to Bo at short to end the inning. But another run for the Cubbies, and they take a 3-0 lead after 5 from Wrigley Field. Krukow back out will face Boone, Christenson, and Maddox. Still a little early probably to pinch hit, although I don't know. Let's see. Christenson can face 28 batters. He has faced 23, so he's kind of on the borderline. We'll see what Boone does. Krukow, 5-6 possible error on the ground ball. Booney, 6-6. That's a ground ball to second. That's a 14. Trio's only a 9, so Trio will make the play. And there is one away. And I believe the Phillies are going to make a change because they need some offense. So Larry Christenson, despite the fact he gets a home run occasionally, they're going to take him out of there. And they will go to their bench for a left-handed pinch hitter. And you can see who's on the bench. We got Hutton, McCarver, and Tolan from the left side. Hutton's 309. McCarver's 320. But McCarver is the backup catcher, so you like to hold on to him as long as you can. So they will go with Tommy Hutton. He will get the pinch hitting duties. And we'll figure out who the new pitcher is going to be. Cubbies have switch left and right, so it really doesn't matter which way they go, although they only have two. You got 2 righties and 2 lefties in the bullpen. So it looks like Jim Kitty Cott is going to be in the bullpen. He can pitch to 8 batters, so they're going to use Jim Cott in relief. He will be the new pitcher for the Phillies in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th, I should say. So Tommy Hutton, when he bats, everybody listens, or watches in this case. Tommy Hutton. No, Double D. No, they're separate purchases. The only one that's the only exception to that is if you buy the current season. When it first comes out, they offer a package deal for the 24 cards and the 25 PC game with the 24 cards, all in one package. But you have to do that like before the 2nd week of April or something. After that, it goes away. But that's the only. But for the older sets, no, you have to buy everything separately. Computer and cards are totally different. All right, here is Krukow to Hutton. That's a 3-4, and that's a range play at the park, going to Wrigley Field for a range play for Tommy Hutton. It's a 3-1. It's a star 6, which is a ground ball to short. We're checking to Jesus. He's a 5. Best you can have. And he needed all of that to make the play. So there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Gary Maddox. 5-5. He's not tired, so it goes to a blank. Maddox, 3-2. He's going to ground it right back to Krukow, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Phillies. They go to the bottom of the 6th, and Jimmy Cott. That's correct. If you want, say you want the 86 season in cards, and you want it on a computer, that's 2 separate purchases. I know the computer is like $30. I'm not sure about the cards. That's why a lot of people like to use other things like Digital Diamond or whatnot to score the games. Generally speaking, I generally buy the computer game when the card set is not available, and then later on they come out with the card set, so I buy that, then I have them both. But that's only for a few seasons that are my favorite. Otherwise, I don't do that. I just go with the cards or the computer, and that's it. All right. But yes, it can get a little pricey. Here's Ontiveros. He's going to be facing Jim Cott. We'll finish the numbers on Christenson before we get going any further. Christenson goes 5 innings, and he's going to give up 3 runs, all earned. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. He walked Trio. That was his only walk. And he struck out 4. He struck out Swisher twice and DeJesus twice. So now we're ready to go for the bottom of the 6th in this 3-0 ball game. Jim Kitty Cott can face 8 batters in relief. 2-6 is a strikeout, but 12 is too much. Go to Ontiveros. That's a 2-2. He's going to fly to center, and that's 1 away. Greg Gross again, cookie cutter card, but I'm going to since he's a bad defensive player, I'm going to go ahead and pull him and put in a better defensive player as well as a right-handed outfielder. So coming in is Gene Clines, and Clines will take over in left field for the Cubbies. I normally say you have to wait till the 7th to make changes, but when pitchers change, that overrides that rule. So Gene Clines will take over for Gross in left field. He's a 3-3-0 and 4 base runner. Plus, he's very effective against lefties. So Jim Cott, 3-3, and that is a blank against a right-hander. So we go to Clines. 5-4, that's a ground ball to third. Schmidt is there, 2 down. But Clines will stay in the game to play left field, where he's a much better defender, much better range. Here's Swisher. So I probably brought him in for defense anyway after the inning was over. 6-6, he's not tired. Go to Swisher. 1-2, it's star 6, which is a fly to Johnstone to end the inning. So we go to the 7th. Still 3-0 Cubbies. Cott will pitch another inning, obviously. Nowhere near being tired. Krukow can face 23 batters. He's faced 19, so he's still in good shape. And here's Boa to lead things off. Krukow, 5-5. Again, he is not tired, so it's not going to be a base hit. Boa, 2-1. That is a base hit, and there goes the no-hitter. He loses it in the top of the 7th. Larry Boa gets the first hit of the game for the Phillies. Actually, the first hit was a hit by pitch, but the first base hit is Larry Boa on that 2-1 single to right field. So Larry Boa breaks up the no-hitter. His attempt is a 6, and he cannot get the lead. So here comes Schmidt, and now the Cub bullpen starting to stir a little bit. Paul Russell, a right-hander, is loosening, and so is Willie Hernandez. Double barrel action. 3-6 is a blank. Go to Schmidt. 4-2. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher, Krukow. Probably not going to be a double play, though. He's a 3, -1, plus it's another -1 for being hit back to the pitcher. That's drops it down to a 1. Pivot at second base trio is a -2, so it cannot be a double play. Let's see if they get the force or not. They do get the force play on Boa. He was being held, so his 4 drops to a 3, and this beats it. So it's going to be a 1-4 fielder's choice. And Schmidt is your new base runner. His attempt is a 3, plus the 2 from Krukow makes him a 5. They cannot get the jump. Here's Luzinski. 2-5 is a blank. We go to Luzinski. 3-1. That's a single pass second. Schmidt is a 3 to get from first to third on the S4. That's good enough. That's all you need. So Schmidt will take third base. And now what do you do if you're the Cubbies? You got a couple lefties coming up, so they're going to the pen. They're going to say, Krukow, thanks for the memories. You pitched a no-hitter through 6 innings, but now you're starting to fade. So he is going to be lifted. The Wrigley Field faithful give him a nice ovation as he leaves. But we will have Willie Don't Call Me Guillermo Hernandez coming on to pitch for the Cubbies. And it will be a double switch because pitcher spot is going to lead off the inning. So there will be a double switch. Not sure where the double switch is going to occur. Let's take a look at their bench. See who might be pulled. Could be possibly Swisher. They're going to pull Swisher and go with George Mitterwald to catch. And Mitterwald will bat 9th. And catch. And the pitcher spot, Hernandez, will go there. So Mitterwald will lead off the bottom of the 7th. So Mitterwald's coming in to catch. And Hernandez is coming in for relief purposes. Steve Swisher will exit the game. Mitterwald will take over as the catcher. So let's get the numbers on Krukow. Krukow went 6 1/3. He's given up 2 hits, no runs, but he is responsible for these 2 runners. He can win it, he cannot lose it. He walked only 1. He did hit a batter. Didn't strike out many. He struck out Luzinski twice, and he struck out the pitcher Christenson once. So that's only 3 strikeouts in my count. So Hernandez will be coming on. But now the Phillies will make a move because Jay Johnstone, despite being a cookie cutter card, I'm going to play it realistically, and I know they would pull him. So we're going to have a pinch hitter, and it will be right-handed hitting Jerry Martin. So Jerry Martin will take over in right field as well. So the wheels turning in both dugouts. I think the other channel would have left Johnstone in there because he's a cookie cutter, but I don't do things like that. He's a 4.50. Jerry Martin. So Jerry Martin will pick up a bat. 2 on, 1 out, facing Willie Hernandez. Strategy rolls are still on. 6-1, and against the lefty, it would have been a strikeout plus. That's why you pull him. And you got the right-hander now. That's a blank. 4-4. It's ground ball to short, possible double play. He's a 2. -1, though. Drops it to a 1 halfway, makes it back to a 2. But the pivot at second trio is a -2, so no double play chance at all. It will be a fielder's choice only. And the run's going to score. They were playing for the double play. That run is charged to Krukow. Will be an RBI ground out. RBI fielder's choice, I should say, for Martin. The out's going to go 6-4. I think it was the short. So run does score. RBI given to Martin. Cuts the lead to 3-1. Martin, the new runner at first. And his attempt is a 4. It's a 3. He's got a chance to get the lead. 12 plus 2 is a 14. And Mitterwald didn't put his defense in. Let me do that real quick. He is a 4, 3, 6, and a -1. So he has a -1 armed as Mitterwald. So down by 2 runs, I don't think, since they've already had 1 caught stealing, I think they're going to hold him there and just see if the next guy can get a base hit. But the next guy will not be Dane Orge because he would not bat against a lefty either. So they will pull him for a new batter. And the new batter will be Davey Johnson. And Johnson can stay in the game and play first base. Not very well, but he can do it. But right now they're going for offense because they're behind. Defense be damned because you want offense. Have all the defense in you want. If you're down 3-1, it does you no good. So Davey Johnson is on to face Willie Hernandez. Hello, Philip. Good to see you. So Davey Johnson pinch hitting here with 2 outs, a run in. It's 3-1 Cubs, top of the 7th. Krukow had a no-hitter until the 7th. He gave it up and got tired. Now Willie Hernandez is taking over. Nothing on the strategy. Hernandez to Johnson. 5-5. Hit by pitch. And he's going to get him. He's an 8. -5 is a 3, but that's a 1. So he's going to plunk him. So how about that? A pinch hit by pitch. And that's the second Phillies batter that's been hit. And Ozark's not happy about it. I think he's talking to the umpire about that. I don't think it was intentional. Don't want to put the tying runs on base. So I don't believe that was intentional in any form or fashion, but you never know. So Hernandez now, this will be for Hernandez, only his 3rd batter, so he's definitely good to go. And Sizemore, 1-1 is a walk, and he walks out of 10. Stadium takes away 1, makes it a 9, so that will not be a walk. Go to Sizemore. 3-6 is a ground ball to second, and that's going to end the inning. So the Phillies get 1. It's charged to Krukow. You can close the book on him. So that's all they get is the 1. And now Martin's the new right fielder. Johnson's the new first baseman. And Kitty Cott will come out for a second inning of work, where he will be facing Mitterwald, who came in on the double switch to bat 9th, and DeJesus, and then Trio. But we're at the bottom of the 7th, which means the 7th inning stretch. So you're welcome to stand and stretch and join me as we listen to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. All right, 7th inning stretch is in the books, and we will continue. And coming up to the plate is George Mitterwald. Remember, he came in on the double switch. He is now batting 9th. And Hernandez can face 6 batters. He faced 3, so he's still going to stay in there to pitch the 8th inning. That's why we did the double switch, to give him plenty of chances before he had to bat. So here's Mitterwald against Cott. 3-1, possible error on the throw. Whoop, that white die didn't make it. Let's try again. 5-6, and that is going to be a ground ball to short. Possible error on the throw. That's a 9. Boa is only a 4, though, so it will not be an error. And that number 9 spot is grounded to short 3 times in a row. Twice by Krukow, now once by Mitterwald. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Philip, I believe that's Steve Tower, unless you want to give him a nickname of High Tower, but Steve Tower with the ukulele. That's who we're missing. Here's DeJesus. 1-6. That's the ballpark card going to Wrigley Field. 2-6, and that is a rare play. That's what we needed. A rare play with the bases empty. Bases empty, rare play. That's a 26. Third baseman goes in the hole and makes a play and hurts himself on the play. Resolve is a G5 range play and check for injury. So Mike Schmidt potentially could be injured. We shall see. First things first, his range is a 5, best you can have. But he still won't make the play. How do you like that? It was a 6. So it's a base hit by DeJesus. And now we look at the injury chance for Schmidt. His injury number is a 1. He's an injury 1. So we bring this back. Injury 1. If he rolled a 1 or 2, he can stay in the game. Anything higher than that, he's got to come out. He can stay in the game. So he shakes it off, stays in the game. But he could not get to that ground ball, and it's going to get through for a base hit for DeJesus. DeJesus, an attempt of 2. He's a 4, but the -2 from Cott drops him to a 2, so nothing's going on there. Here's Trio. Kitty Cott to Trio. 2-5 is a walk chance, and he will walk Trio. So 2 on. Cott can face 8 batters. He has faced 6. This will be batter 7, so he's not tired yet. Got lefty on lefty against Bittner, and he is, thank goodness, he is rated for splits. So he's got 0 home runs on lefties, 13 on righties. So it's a good thing he is rated for splits, unlike some other ones. So Cott to Bittner. 3-2 is a blank. We go to Bittner. 4-1 ground ball back to Cott. So don't play ground ball as a 2, but when you go to the pitcher, you lose 1, makes it a 1. Pivot is the shortstop Boa, hits a +1, so it's a 2. 1-2, it's a double play. Anything else, we got something. That's a 3, so it's going to be a fielder's choice. They're going to get the out 1-6 on the fielder's choice. Going to third is DeJesus. Runners on the corners now with 2 outs for Bobby Mercer. And this is the 8th batter for Cott, so he will be tired after this. And the Phillies do have the bullpen going. They do have right-hander Ron Reed loosening to come in if Cott cannot get out of this inning. Runners at the corners. And 2 away. 3-6 for Cott is a blank. We go to Mercer. 5-1, star 6 is a fly to right, and that's going to end the inning. And that will be all for Cott. He's going to bat second this inning. So Cott gave him what he could, but he's going to have to come out of there. Cott's going to go 2 innings. Not give up any runs. Kept his team in the game. Still 3-1. So Cott goes 2 innings, gives up 1 hit, no runs, walks 1, and does not strike out anybody. So we go to the 8th inning. It'll be Boone, a pinch hitter, and then Maddox against Willie Hernandez. Hernandez, once again, has faced 3 batters. He can face 6. So we look at the Philly bench on their right-handed hitters, and you got downtown Ollie Brown. He is the one you would look for out of the remaining guys. Ron Reed will be the new pitcher coming in the 8th inning for the Phillies. But it's going to be downtown Ollie Brown that will do the pinch hitting after Boone. Downtown Ollie Brown will be your pinch hitter once Boone hits. So it's Boone, Brown, and Maddox. Due up for the Phils here in the top of the 8th of a 3-1 ball game here at Wrigley. Hernandez to Boone. 4-5. That's a straight-up home run chance against the lefties. He's a 5. That's a 3. It's gone. Bob Boone, of all people, cranks a Willie Hernandez would be whatever pitch he throws. I don't know if it's a what they call it, but whatever it was, it didn't work. And Bob Boone puts it out of here. Look at it again. 4-5 is a straight-up home run chance. Boone against lefty pitchers is a 1-5, and the double die comes up as a 3. It is now a 3-2 game, and now downtown Ollie Brown will pick up a bat and hit for the Phillies against Willie Hernandez, who had it screwball, just didn't screw enough, I guess. So here's Hernandez to Brown. That's a 4-4. That's a strikeout chance. 19 is too high. Go to Brown. 6-3. What can Brown do for the Phillies? He just hits a pinch hit double. That's what he can do for the Phillies. Pinch hit double. And that's going to be it for Willie Hernandez. He is done. Cubs are going to Bruce Sutter. They're not fooling around. They are not fooling around. Oh, and now Tabby's crying at the door. Hold on. Well, she cried at the door, but then she sits down outside the door and don't want to come in. So I don't know what she wants, but I know I heard her. Despite having these little headphones on, I heard her. So I gave her a chance. She just didn't want to do it. So anyway, Willie Hernandez is set to bat third this inning. So there's going to be a double switch to allow Sutter to pitch and try to finish this game. So Bruce Sutter will be the new pitcher, but we don't know about the double switch yet. Let's see. Last out was made by Mercer, Bittner. Well, you hate to lose that defense. Mercer, though, they could take Mercer out of there. What do they got on the bench? They've got Wallace that they could go to. I had Buckner on there. I don't think he was on the roster, though. I think that was a misprint. I don't think he was on the roster. But they do have, well, Wallace is not very good, actually. They got Jose Cardinal to play right field. So Jose Cardinal is going to come in, and he will hit in the number 8 position and play right field. And the pitcher now will be in the number 4 spot. That's going to be Suter. And coming out of the game will be Bobby Mercer. Suter will take Mercer's spot. Cardinal will take over the number 8 position between Kleins and Mitterwald. So we say farewell to Bobby Mercer. And that's what we got. We do have Cardinal coming in and Bruce Suter coming in. So Suter it is. He'll be facing Maddox, Boa, and Schmidt, the scheduled hitters. Can't close the book on Hernandez by any means. Hernandez did go. Let's see, he gave up a run, 2 hits and a run, but that run could change. He got, let's see, what did he get here? 2/3 of an inning here. So he went 2/3 of an inning because he didn't get anybody out in the 8th. 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits and a run, no walks, no strikeouts. He did hit a batter. So Maddox it is. It's a 3-2 ball game. Tying run is at second base with nobody out. And Ollie Brown at second base runs at a 2. Don't know. They don't want to use up all their players. So they're not going to pinch run for him. They're just going to keep him right there at a 2. So Gary Maddox against Suter. Two strikeout plus, and he got him. Huge strikeout there. 1 away for Larry Boa. Boa. 4-4, strikeout chance, 16 too high. We go to Boa. 2-2, it's a pop up to short. So Suter 1 out away from getting out of the mess, but he's got to deal with Mike Schmidt. That's no easy task. Suter facing Schmidt. 5-4, and that's a pitcher result. 1-10 is an automatic out. That's a 9, so Suter gets out of it. And he ends up getting Schmidt to fly to center. So the 1 run comes in, but that's all they get. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 our score. Phillies and the Cubbies. Ron Reed will be coming in for the Phillies. Try to keep the game where it is. He'll be facing Morales, Ontiveros, and Kleins will be the scheduled hitters. Right switch and a right. Facing Ron Reed. For 6, that's a hit by pitch. He's a 3, -5 though, so no hit by pitch. Morales will swing it. 2-1, that's a fly to left, and that's 1 away for Ontiveros. 2-4, and that's a home run question mark. Switch hitter batting left is a 1-10, but that fails, so we go to Ontiveros. Finish the at bat. 2-2, he's going to fly to center. And he's flied to center 3 times in a row. So that's 2 quick outs, and here's Gene Kleins. 4-5 is a blank. We go to Kleins. Two, and that's a fly to center again. So 3 up and 3 down for the Cubbies against Ron Reed. We go to the bottom of the top of the ninth, rather. Cubs lead at 3-2, and Bruce Sutter back out trying to get a 6-out save. He faced 3 batters. He can face 7, so he's still good. He's got Luzinski, Martin, and Johnson due up for the Phillies here in the top of the ninth. Hello, Tim, Tribe fan, Cleve baseball fan. Here is Luzinski facing Sutter. 1-4, wild pitch, so that's a blank. We go to Luzinski. 1-5, he's going to fly to right field. 4 up and 4 down for Sutter. And here's Jerry Martin. Jerry, my favorite Martin. 4-2 is a strikeout chance. 6 got him, and he's also Sutter's favorite Martin because he struck him out. Down to Davy Johnson, last chance for the Phils. Or Sutter will put it away. 5-6, strikeout chance, 12, too high. Go to Johnson. 5-4, it's a single to past third base, so that keeps the game going, at least for one more batter. Looking for a possible pinch runner because Johnson runs at a 1, and he is the tying run. So let's see if they got left on base. They got Tolan. See how he runs. Harmon runs at a 3. He's actually better. So Terry Harmon's going to come in and pinch run. He will pinch run for Davy Johnson. Terry Harmon, and he runs at a 3. His attempt is a 3, but he's not going anywhere. They just want the speed. In case we get a base hit, he can try to score on a base hit with that speed of 3. So Sizemore is your batter. This is the 7th batter for Sutter, so he'll be tired after Sizemore. Nothing on strategy. Sutter to Sizemore. 6-3, possible error on a ground ball. 4-2, it's a fly to left, and that's going to do the ball game right there. No error to worry about. And the Cubbies hang on and win it by the score of 3-2. Bruce Sutter had to earn that one, a 2-inning save. Came in with the tying run at second and nobody out in the 8th, and retires 3 in a row to get out of it, and then retires 3 of the 4 he faces here. So 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs. He strikes out 2, doesn't walk anybody, and he earns the save. Krukow will get the win. Christenson takes a tough luck loss. Reed 1 inning, giving up nothing. So the final line score for the Cubbies, it's 3 runs, and they managed to get 8 hits. And I don't believe there's an error on either side. I don't believe there was. For the Phillies, 2 runs, and they managed to get 5 hits. So for the Cubbies, 3-8-0 for the Cubbies, 2-5-0 for the Phillies. Winning pitcher Krukow, save to Sutter, losing pitcher Christenson. And the April 19th game is in the books. Phillies will drop to 4-5. The Cubs improve to 6-4. And as we look ahead to the April 20th game, we will be under the dome in Houston. It will be the San Francisco Giants taking on the Houston Astros. Ed Halicki for the Giants and Mark Lamangelo for the Houston Astros. That will probably be on Thursday. I think tomorrow all I'm going to do, because I got a lot of yard work to do tomorrow. So if I get a strat game in the evening, that's about all I'm going to be able to do, I guess. Or that's all I can do. I'm not going to do it in the morning because I want to be out there before the heat starts. Go out there when it's a little cooler and take care of things. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all enjoyed that presentation of Inside Pitch. Again, final score, Cubs 3, Phillies 2. I'll go enter this in the Strat computer and update those records, and then we're looking at San Francisco against Houston. That'll be the next game on Inside Pitch. Next stream on the channel will be Stratomatic. We'll be on the May 9th block. We'll start the May 9th games, and we will be all the way back to Fenway Park. And it will be the California Angels taking on the Boston Red Sox. Not the most stellar matchup in the world, but you play them as they come. It is Willie Frazier for the Angels against junk baller Al Nipper for the Red Sox. That'll be tomorrow at some point. I don't know when. It's whenever I can find the time to get it in. So until next time, hope you enjoy playing whatever game you happen to choose to play, no matter what game it is. Important thing is to enjoy the hobby. So, as Tabby would say, even though she's not in here, she hopes you enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you want to play it. And until next time, we will see you all down the road.